Emoticons, those cute little describers of our emotional state that we craft from punctuation and most often the English alphabet. How did this trend start and how old is it? You might imagine that emoticons are a modern thing, like the 90s versions of emojis or the predecessor to wingdings, right? Well, no, they aren't, and they even go way back before the days of top hats and monocles. What appears to be the very first use of an emoticon in print can be found in a poem written by Robert Herrick in 1648. This very well could have been a colon that was misplaced in the printing process, but in the context of that section of the poem, it seems likely that it was intentional. Going back to the topic of top hats, a New York Times transcript of a speech by Abraham Lincoln, written in 1862, contains the winky face emoticon. But just like the aforementioned poem by Robert Herrick, we still can't be certain that the semicolon was intentionally placed in the transcript. The first instance of emoticons being used on purpose in print was in an 1881 issue of Puck magazine. The satirical article demonstrated how typographical art could be created with vertically placed characters that would indicate various emotions. In 1887, critic Ambrose Bierce wrote a tongue-in-cheek essay on writing reform where he suggested new punctuation marks to indicate humor or irony. He called it the Snigger Point, and he said it could represent a smiling mouth. The Snigger Point never took off. The first documented online use of the smiley and frowny face emoticons was by Scott Fowlman on a University Computer Science message board in 1982. He proposed the use of these emoticons in order to prevent any confusion that might be caused by sarcasm in text-based conversation. From there, it spread to ARPANET and Usenet. We have him to thank for the trend we know today as emoticons. The term emoticon appeared in print for the first time in a 1990 publication of the New York Times. It was then added to the Oxford Dictionary in 2001 and became official internet lingo in 2002 when it was submitted to the Urban Dictionary. Emoticons aren't just an American fad. Thanks to the internet, the trend of emoticons has spread outside the US and evolved with the addition of non-Latin alphabet characters. Disapproval, rage, mischief, uncertainty, and a plethora of other emotions and feelings are all easily conveyed with the creative combination of these new characters. Today, the Japanese-inspired trend of emojis is becoming more popular. But it's safe to say that the old-fashioned colon and in parentheses smiley face will always be around.